Good morning, everyone. It's pick day, finally, hopefully. I ordered this sandwich at 10:30. It's now 11:40 and I'm just now getting to eat it. And it's hard, but it'll do. Sebastian is in his cute little peach hospital gown. They're getting ready to take him down to the OR to place the PICC line. I do have an update and it's not what we expected. Originally, we were hoping for a 2-week antibiotic course, but there were some discrepancies about previous surgeries and if there was any foreign material used in Sebastian's previous heart surgery. First, they told him there was no foreign material, and there definitely is. So with that being said, having foreign material in the body is a big risk in a way. I can't think of the right word that I want to use. But basically, any foreign material is going to draw, if there's going to be bacteria, it's going to go there. And because there is foreign material in his heart where they used, stents and things like that to reconstruct his pulmonary artery when he was 3 months old, they don't want to treat him for just 2 weeks because the bacteria likes to hide in that foreign material. Sorry, I'm so tired. So he is going to be on a 6-week treatment, which stinks, but it's okay because I'd rather be safe than sorry. With that being said, we are just waiting right now for the team to come up and grab him and go over the little procedure, and then he's going to go get his CTs, and then hopefully he'll recover up in his room. So I'm still waiting for them to come and grab him. He is tiny.
Well, and then there's all this stuff on the counter.
You can just see his little patch of brown hair. Hi, bud. Ooh, they just took him back. I tell you what, I am fine until it's time to take him and hand him off to the surgeons. Like, I'm fine. And then as soon as they're like, okay, it's time to say goodbye, I break down every time. But he's in good hands, and it'll be about an hour or two before we get an update. So took him back at 12:45 and it's now almost 3. So he should be back in his room soon. I did get an update that the PICC line went in successfully. There was no problems, and which is wonderful. It's wonderful. It's one step closer to going home. And he should be any minute, like I said, coming back from CT. So I'm excited to see him. I just looked over and saw his little sock on the floor. Es mi calcetine. The crickets are so appropriate right now. Every person that walks by, I'm like, is it him? No, it's not. But literally, it's just crickets in here. Literally. I want to see my boy. Okay, now I'm starting to get anxious. It's been over 3 hours, and they definitely said it was not going to take this long. Oh, I feel like I can't expand my lungs with enough oxygen.
What a good staring is.
There he is. It's 5:15 and he just now got back into his room. The first thing I'm going to say is Sebastian is doing well. He had a really, really hard time coming out of anesthesia. He had to be bagged a couple of times, but it's not uncommon for him. He has a history of coming out of sedation really, really slow. This is his PICC line. It goes in through his elbow right here. I have it covered up right now, but he doesn't seem to be in pain, and he's doing very well. We're just trying to get him to take a little nap right now and just rest. It was a lot of stuff for today, and the whole process of getting him moved from one unit to the other, there was a lot of miscommunication in between there, and I'm really, really upset. So I'm waiting for the manager to come in. I'm not the type of person to make a complaint, but for this I will, and I'll explain that a little later. Say, but other than that, I'm doing really good. You did wonderful. Yes. I love you. Really quickly, I just wanted to touch base about what happened today. I will say that a couple hours has passed and now I am a little bit more calm, but that was a different story earlier. So when we took Sebastian down to the procedure room where they were getting ready to put him under anesthesia and insert the PICC line, I had a very, very long conversation with the anesthesiologist and the nurse about Sebastian's history with sedation and coming out of sedation. In the past, it has taken Sebastian a lot of work. He needs a lot of assistance when he wakes up from being sedated. And I explained to them multiple times that he struggles coming out of sedation. So keep that part in mind. Next, after we got done with all the consent papers and all of that, I said goodbye. They brought him into the procedure room. The nurse asked me if I would like her to call me when the PICC line was placed and when he was being transferred to CT to get those 2 CT scans of his lung and his heart. I said yes. So what happens was he got the PICC place, he went to CT, and then he's supposed to go to a recovery room with different nurses who are then going to wake him up out of the sedation. So she was going to call me when he was on his way to CT, and then they were going to call me when he was in the recovery room so I could be there when they woke him up out of the sedation. I wanted to be there for him and let him know that I was there. Well, that didn't happen. They never called me when he got done with his PICC line. They never called me when he got down to CT. They didn't call me when he got into the recovery room. He was in the recovery room struggling. They had to bag him because he was having such a hard time getting out of sedation. Now, my problem is not that they didn't call me. I understand that there are other things going on in the hospital. I'm not oblivious to that. People have a lot of stuff on their plate. Also not oblivious to the fact that some children require bagging when they come out of anesthesia. It's a difficult time. So it's not surprising that he needed to be bagged. My issue is when I walked into the recovery room, the nurses were frazzled because they were so stressed out that Sebastian was struggling so much coming out of sedation. They were asking me all types of questions like, what is he normally like this? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes. I had a very long conversation with the anesthesiologist about this. You should have known that. And they had no clue because the nurse who I had originally given all of this information to about his medical history didn't tell them. She didn't tell them that Sebastian has a problem coming out of sedation. And why is that a problem? Because God forbid anything were to happen to Sebastian, those nurses needed to know that it was a possibility, first of all. Second of all, I have no clue how one unit can hand off a child to another unit without giving them a full report on the patient as well as their medical history. This is a problem because those nurses should have expected Sebastian to have problems waking up from anesthesia. They should have known that he was going to struggle, and they didn't. So instead, they were frazzled, wondering why he was struggling so hard. It was, and I hate saying this word, but it was laziness and it was negligent. It really was, because those nurses deserve to know that they're going to have to work a little bit harder to help Sebastian maintain his good oxygen levels. In the 5 years that we have been working with this particular hospital, I have never had a bad experience. I have never ever filed a formal complaint, never. But this felt like something that couldn't be ignored. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I think that there needs to be a conversation had. Moving on from all of that, at the end of the day, Sebastian was never in a critical position. The nurses had him the entire time. They had a bag available there to bag him and support him while he was trying to come out of the anesthesia. And we had a successful PICC line placement, which is one step closer to coming home. It was very overwhelming because for over 2 hours, I didn't know where Sebastian was. Was he still trying to get the PICC line? Was he in CT? Was he in recovery? So the whole experience this afternoon, unfortunately, was not good. But I did talk to Human Resources, and I just let them know our experience and just said, just have a conversation with that nurse. Try to do better. So it's okay. I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going to change in the next couple of days or maybe by next week. I'm curious now that the PICC line is placed, how soon we're gonna get out of there. Really, that's the biggest thing we were waiting for, was the PICC line so he can go home where I can give him his antibiotics. So fingers crossed that that happens soon, and fingers crossed that tomorrow is a better day. Thank you all again for being here. I really appreciate it, and I need to go to sleep, so we will see you tomorrow. By the way, I have more than one black shirt, so yes, I change my clothes at night. I just thought I would put that out there because some person made a joke on my last video about me always wearing the same shirt, and literally 90% of my clothes are black or gray. So I just want to let everyone know I change my clothes. See you next time. He's very sleepy after the big day. Hi. I love you. You gotta go night-night. Try to get some rest, okay? Look at those long eyelashes. And say goodnight, everybody. Good night. Hopefully tomorrow is a better day.